homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm.
Let's see if I got it.
That's pretty good. All 4 feet are flat on the ground now. So now I can put it on the truck, but first I want to get it painted. $20 at Tractor Supply. So Farm and Implement paint matte black. I don't want to have to bend over to do a lot of painting, so I'm going to pull that up. I'm not after a perfect coat, I'm just after getting it covered so the rust will stop. Well, okay, you don't need to see me paint all of it. This implement paint from Tractor Supply, it's an oil-based enamel, and this stuff sticks to doggone near anything. I don't worry about washing stuff off or grinding rust off or whatever. This stuff sticks really, really, really good. So I'm going to put it on there, let it dry, and then we'll get it mounted to the truck. I'm sure it may take most of the day for this to dry. This stuff don't dry in a few minutes like a spray can, but I sure like the way it adheres better. Okay. Okay, folks, it's all painted. This paint says it dries in about 4 hours. I have found that that's debatable. I figure in 6 hours it'll be dry enough that I can mount this to the truck and then do the touch-up. But in that time, this paintbrush should dry out too. This is how you fix that. A bag from the dollar store. Put the paintbrush in there and just wind that up where the air can't get to it, and that paintbrush will be just fine for the touch-ups when I get back to this. Now, everything on my homestead goes on at the same time. So I've got 4 projects going on today. This is one of them. So I'm going to go and get at those other projects, and then when I come back, we'll mount this to the truck. Okay, it looks like the paint is mostly dry. When I grabbed it, I still got a little paint on me. But for the most part, the paint is dry. Now I've been racking my little brain about how am I going to put this up on the truck when it's just me. I'm all the time doing stuff by myself, and I have to figure out ways to do stuff. So I think I've got an idea, but until it's time to actually put it on the truck, I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple of holes up the front so I can get the width of this thing set exactly as wide as I want it to be. So that's how I'm going to start. I'm going to drill a couple of holes. There's one. Let's go over to the other side and do the other one. Now these were made for carriage bolts, but I don't have any. Is that going to fit? Yep. I'm doing 3/8 bolts. Okay, the distance between the 2 bolt holes I just drilled and these bolt holes is 60.5 inches, what it needs to be. So what I want to do is I want to open this up to that distance. Well, I don't feel nothing on this side that the bolt goes in. I bought a bunch of new bolts. These are metric that fits in these threads. So now if I feel this side, oh, right there's where the bolt goes. So I'm going to start that. I've got paint in the threads. Hope I don't have to do something. Now I want to make the distance here from boat hole to boat hole to be 60.5 inches. So I've got about 4 inches to go. See how we are there. Means I'll probably have to make this one come out too. Is it 60.5 inches. Now this back, I want it to be the same way, so I'm going to make it go out. Okay, it's got to extend out more. It's got to come out more. Is that enough? Nope, not yet. Okay, that's it right there. That's probably close enough. Check and make sure I haven't moved the front. Got that on. Now, I have thunk and thunk till my thunker's sore. Just like with this bent leg. I thought the other day, and I made a little short video, that told you that I was going to have to cut that and weld it. Well, you saw at the beginning of this video, I put the tractor bucket on it and pulled it over. So, I straightened it without having to weld it, and the weld is still held solid. So, I've got an idea of how to do this, because I'm doing it all alone. Again, all by myself. That's the way it works. Crystal's not even home, so I can't hurt myself if I don't want to hurt myself doing none of this. But if I can get the front two legs up on there and get the bolts on them, then I can position these back two legs to set on the back where it's supposed to go. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this and show you what my idea is. Here's the plan. I'm going to set that 2x6 under those feet and put screws in them so it will hold the 2x6. The 2x6 is wider than the truck. So when I set that on there, I should be able to slide it to the back while I raise the back end. So we'll see if it works that way. Do scratch. Now this right here is solid. There are no holes for me to fasten to. So this hole right here has to be past that. So I'm going to get that past it and drill a hole and put a bolt. And then I can work on the upper ones. Ow, right in the nose. Ah. Ah. No blood. As long as there's no blood, good to go. Oh. If I broke my nose, that would just be the third time or fourth. That's what you get, sticking your nose in other people's business. Alright. Let's see. Well, I still may have been too far over. Be all right for the minute. Let's do one on this side. Okay, that's 2 bolts on there. Now I can go over center that baby up and take these off. Okay, it's on. Just got to finish putting the bolts in. Okay, that's not going nowhere. Now, all I have to do is I want to look at it and make sure that everything is straight and plumb, and then I need to tighten these bolts. I had to think about it a minute. Oh, I can't hardly reach it. There. It ain't going nowhere. I'd drive it anywhere now. Lock washers on all the bases. Okay. This is going to serve me a lot of years. Now I have to get a headache rack. I have to get one. I'm not going to buy one. If I can keep from it, I'll make one. I'll keep watching Marketplace and see if I can come up with some mesh that I can weld into some bed rails or whatever to make me a nice headache rack here on the back so I don't break out my back glass. You can look out for that video in a while. Now, as far as this rack goes, the literature about this rack says that it will hold 500 pounds up on the rack part. Well, I don't know how confident I feel about that, since it's a second-hand rack and a lot of the bolt holes are rusty pretty bad. A 12-foot 2x6 weighs 20 pounds. Right at. Pressure treated 2x6 weighs right at 20 pounds. Might be 22 or 23 if it's full of water. So I could haul 10 2x6s, 12-foot 2x6s on top of this, and that would be just a little over 200 pounds. So I'm confident that I could do that. Would I put 400 or 500 pounds up here on top of it and go down the road? Probably not. But 10 2x6s, 12-foot 2x6s. Other than that, I've got a trailer. Okay, I've got a 12.5-foot trailer. So hauling 12-foot 2x6s, if I have to haul a bunch, I just pull my trailer out. So that's me installing a $50. It was $50. I paid $20 for the paint, and I still got most of the paint left. It didn't take but an ounce or two of paint to paint this whole thing. I've got to come back and touch up a couple places. I drilled one hole over here that I screwed up. So, oh well, mine's a work truck, okay? So, it's going to get beat up, it's going to get scratched up. It'll be alright, trust me. I was going over how much I'd spent on it. Well, I keep That's 3/8 inch bolts. I keep a bucket of these. Tractor Supply sells them by the pound, like $3 a pound. And when I buy 5 or 10 pounds. Okay, I've got 3/8, I've got 7/16, I've got halves, I've got 3/16, and I got quarters. So, and I keep them in a coffee can, and I've always got bolts when I need them. Now, this was made for carriage bolts. I didn't have any carriage bolts, so I substituted in what I had. And I'd say they'll last me for years. So, total in this rack, I bought some bolts to go up here, some new ones, because some of the bolts were real rusty and were hard to get out, and so I bought some new bolts at the hardware store. So in this, I've got 50 plus probably, let's say $3 worth of paint, 53. Then I've got probably $1 worth of bolts and lock washers. Then can't count the drill. I've got a drill and plenty of drill bits. So all told, I'm in this for about $55. The cheapest one I could find new was over $300, and the cheapest one I could find online used was $175. So this $50 one, it was bent. I had to fix it with a tractor. You know, that's what I opted for, is I've opted to just fix it with a tractor. And you saw me at the beginning of the video bending it back where it was supposed to be. So that's the way I've done this stuff. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff all the time, sometimes once, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell, that'll be right up here when you get to the channel. It'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. So now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.